Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to share with you 8 ugly side of being illegal immigrants. So when I was young, I used to hear people saying their family member went to abroad and with no documentations, and sometimes I wonder how they live without documentations, right? But being here for some time, I've seen the difficulties, the ugly side of it, and I want to share with you guys in case you are preparing to become one, or maybe you're already in it, or maybe you are planning to come here but you don't know how to further extend your stay and things like that. Because if you come to Western countries with even educational purposes, there's likelihood you could not extend your visa and then you become an illegal immigrant. So let's start. The first one I'm going to tell you is that if you consider or reconsidering your decisions to becoming an illegal immigrant, you should note that within the next couple of years, let's say 30 years or wherever, because I heard people that says it took them like 20 years to get proper documentations. And so you have to reconsider that within this period, you are not able to go back. If you decide to go back, then you can't come back again. So most people wouldn't do that, right? They want to wait until they get proper documentations before they can go back to their countries or visit their family members. But if you are not able to get that documentations, it means you cannot go back, you cannot visit your family members within the next, say, 30 years, or maybe you will probably not visit your family members again, because nobody knows the uncertainties of life, right? Now, the second one I'm going to share with you is accommodation. So the thing is that nowadays, if you come to Western countries and then if you don't know anybody here, the possibility is that you're going to find so much difficulty finding an apartment or a place where you put your head, and most people end up sleeping in the train stations, right? So the thing is, previously maybe you might have met somebody who also came here through the same process, and they maybe have some sympathy for you and they will take you to their homes. But nowadays everybody is just scared. People are being cautious because, for example, in Germany, if the authorities, they catch you that you are actually staying with somebody with no documents and things like that, you, the person that hosts the person, you could be fined, and that is the minimum you can get. If you're not lucky, you can be deported if you continue the habit of entertaining illegal immigrants, and it can affect you in several ways, right? So it's becoming a challenge, and sometimes you're not sure about the person you are even taking in, because you cannot trust people, and sometimes the person that you even help can pay you back negatively. So people don't normally want to entertain other people with no documentations nowadays, right? So you have to consider accommodation, and with no accommodation, it means that you cannot register, you don't have a registered address. And if you ask so many people who are living in Western countries, in Europe and other countries, they will tell you that having an address is like the blood of the city. Like everywhere you go, they are asking you about your address. Like if you want to open a bank account, if you want to do anything, even a job, they ask for it. So it's very important. And trust me, you are not going to get it because you don't have proper documentations. Now, the third thing, which I even mentioned, is bank accounts. So if you don't have proper documentations, it's difficult to actually open a bank account. And or maybe you have heard, even in developing countries nowadays, credit cards, or maybe say MasterCard or any card that you can use to withdraw money, is very important. In some places, you cannot even use cash to maybe pay for services or buy something. So you need a bank account, you need a card to actually do some of these things. Maybe you can find your way out to get this, but it's so difficult if you don't have proper documentations, because some of the banks, even the mobile banks, previously they used to ask only passport and that was enough, but nowadays they go further to ask you about your resident permits and things like that, because they don't want people to occupy just the banking space. Some people, they come within some short period and then they leave the country, so they don't want that. They want people that are able to stay, are going to stay here for some time, so they ask for resident permits and things like that. The next one is that you can also have an insurance, and having an insurance in most European countries or other Western countries is so much important. It's very, very important, because if you are sick and you go to the hospital and you have your insurance card, you can just use the card and you never pay a thing, right? But if you don't have an insurance card, it means that you have to pay the money out of your pocket, and that is very expensive. And it's not even any doctor that will actually entertain that, or maybe want to help you with no insurance, because actually that is the best process, or the easiest process for the doctors or the medical practitioners to get their money back, instead of just giving you a receipt for you to pay back or something like that. So if you don't have an insurance, then it means that you're going to have so many difficulties, especially if you have a chronic disease, a chronic illness or something like that. Then it's gonna be tough for you living in abroad. Right now, the next one, which is very, very important, is that you cannot find a job if you don't have any proper documentations. This is the most important thing, because having a job means you can have some money, right? And if you don't find a job, it's gonna be so much difficulty for you living here, because people who even have a job still facing challenges. Talk about people who cannot find any job or have any financial means, right? So what people actually do is that they rely on other people to give them their documents, and then they use that document to get a job. But then let me tell you stories or some things that you have to be careful, in case maybe you are in already or you are considering to do that. First of all, if you live in countries like Germany, and let's say you have your main job, right, and you want to get an extra job, you want to get a second job. In Germany, if you have a second job, that second job is automatically put in tax class 6. So, and the tax class 6, after the deductions and everything, let's say if you have like 2,000 euros, you'll be remain about 1,000, because 50% of your money will be gone, because it's second job, right? And so if you are living in Germany, you don't have papers and you're using somebody's papers, you should consider that you're going to get less money compared to maybe if you had your own documents. And so if you get 1,000, it doesn't mean that you're going to take everything, because people who will hand you their documents are going to share the money with you. So if the remaining money is 1,000, it means that, and if you have a 50-50 split agreement, it means you will get only 500 euros. And trust me, in Germany, getting an apartment for even 500 euros, it means you're lucky, right? So you have to reconsider all these decisions. And if you even get somebody to stay with and you have to pay a rent of, let's say 300, you will remain with 200 euros, which is, man, it's not anything, right? Now with the issue of having somebody's papers to find a job, let me tell you 2 stories, so that maybe you have to be careful in case you are using somebody's paper or you are considering to do that, right? So there was a case where somebody handed their documents to another person, and this person was actually working, and they are sharing the money like I explained. And the owner of the papers, or the original owner, he handed his extra like a bank account, which he doesn't really use. He gave it to the illegal immigrant to use. So this guy just received the money in it, and then give the percentage to the owner. And then they've been doing this for several years. And then the illegal immigrant was actually putting his money into this account. So when the person with the documents realized that this guy has saved a lot in the bank account, what he did was he went to the authorities and he informed them that this guy doesn't have proper documentations, and then they came and they grabbed this guy, and then they handed him to put him in the prison for some time. Actually, they have to reprocess your things before they send you back, so they have to keep you somewhere for some time. And so this guy, he then takes all the money the illegal immigrant has accumulated in the bank accounts. And I'm telling you, people do this, so you have to be careful. Even if you want to still be an illegal immigrant after watching this video, you have to be careful in this scenario. It's better to even keep the money, maybe cash on you or whatever, than to put the money in somebody's bank account which they gave it to you, because they have access to it and they can even withdraw it anytime and you will not know. So you have to be careful with that. Now, another story I want to tell you is the fact that somebody actually handed their documents to an illegal immigrant, and unfortunately that illegal immigrant actually passed away. Now on the system, it's not the illegal immigrant who is dead, but actually the real owner is dead per the system, right? Even though he is alive, but because he handed his documents, it's almost like everything he owns, this guy is now having it. So when this guy passed away, per the documentations they have and everything, it's just assumed that the real person or the original owner of these documents is dead. So the system, it shows that this guy is dead, but he's still alive. And then with this, how are you going to survive in the system if you yourself, they have put you in the system that you've already passed away? And that is a very serious, because the thing is, if you go to the police station to report that you're alive, they're gonna arrest you, they're gonna charge you, because let's say if you gave your documents to that person and that person died, maybe working in that factory or wherever, then it will be that you are kind of the reasons why the person is dead, right? Or you have contributed to this person passing away, and they can arrest you or charge you, imprison you for several years. So you have to be careful. So this one goes to the person who is going to take the documents and the person who is handing the documents to the illegal immigrants. So you have to be careful. Now the next one that people normally do is that if they don't have documents, the next thing is to find somebody and get married to. But the reality is that if you ask so many people who were once illegal immigrants and now they're legal, they will tell you it took them several years, took them let's say 20 years. So are you telling me that they couldn't find anybody to get married within some 5 years or so? The challenge with that is that if you don't have papers, it's actually even difficult to find a partner, because the thing is, nobody is going to trust you, or nobody is going to know or for sure know that you love them, or right, because you cannot even tell if the person is just coming to you because they love you or coming to you because of the documentations, right? And that is a challenge. Even if the lady or the guy accepts to marry you, his or her friends, their parents are going to reject you or going to be restrictive, because they wouldn't trust you because you are illegal immigrants, right? So these are the challenges that people go through. People who are illegal immigrants in abroad here, they go through, but normally people don't say it, right? Now the next one is that people actually buy documentations, and this is what they do. They normally save money, and then when they see that the lady is pregnant, then they go in agreement with this lady to indicate on the birth certificates that that guy is actually the owner of the baby. And in Germany, when your child has a legal status, or most European countries as well, you, the parents, sometimes or most often also through that get documentations. And people has been doing this. People normally buy this kind of things, right, to get documentations. And if I'm telling you the cost of these things, you will be so surprised that people even go in with that. People are charging 20,000 euros, 30,000 euros for this kind of agreements. And the thing is, the reality is that if you're an illegal immigrant, like the case I described about working, using somebody's documentations to work and all that, how many years do you think is going to take you to save money to get like 20,000 euros or 30,000 euros just to give it to somebody and write on the birth cert that you are the father of the baby? Just think about that. It will take you so many years to accumulate that kind of money. So in reality, this is a very strong challenge. It's a very difficult thing to actually do. So you have to weigh in all these things and reconsider if you want to become an illegal immigrant, because it's not easy. People don't normally talk about these things. Right. Now the last one is low pension rate. Low pension rate. Now let me explain. And let me tell you, this is the most important point to consider if you want to become an illegal immigrant. And I'm very serious about it, because I've heard and seen so many people talk about their pension in Germany, and I asked them, when did you start working? And that is where everything is coming from. So the fact is that, let's say you come here, you are around 30 years, right? And then you come here, you start working, saving, maybe doing all sorts of things just to get documentation, and it takes you 20 years to get proper documentation. It means that all this time you are not paying pension, right? You are just working around doing some black jobs or whatever jobs you are doing, or working with somebody's papers, paying pension for the person, but not actually you. So the thing is, after 20 years, now you are 50 years, right? And you get your documents. It's a good news, right? You get your documents, but now you're going to start working properly for yourself, and now you're going to actually pay pensions in this country, wherever country you are. And so in this case, your pension is starting from this point in time. And for example, in Germany, women go on pension around 65 years and men 67 years. So if you're a lady and you're 50 years and now you get your documents, it means that you are now going to pay pension for the next 15 years. And if you're a guy, you are now going to pay pension for 17 years, right? But let's reconsider somebody who was like 20 years and they go on pension. It means that they pay like 40 something years, right? So your 15 years compared to that 40 something, what do you think you're going to get for pension when you go on pension? What do you think you are going to get back? All right. If you get 200 euros a month, you are good to go. It's even a good amount. And I'm telling you, you cannot even get 200 euros if you work just 10 years, 15 years or 17 years. You are going to get even 100 euros a month. And if you are going to get that amount per month, then it's not really worth it, right? It's not worth it. Even if you want to return to your country, that 100 euros or whatever amount you are getting back, it's not worth it. It's not worth the struggles, the things that you have worked all these years to get. It doesn't worth it. So I think people have to reconsider their decisions when they want to become illegal immigrants, because these things are there, but people don't think about it. People just want to do anything, but you have to actually make a decision. You have to think about all these things you are making, or the decisions you are making, before you go ahead to do them. So guys, this is my take. This is what I've realized, I've seen, I've heard, and I wanted to share with you guys. So thank you for watching, and if you have some reasons to add up, just write them in the comment section and let me see what you think about these things. Yeah, and thank you for watching the video. Bye.